Well, this isn't a main road by any means. This is strictly a industrial park, which I am fortunate enough to have access to. So I get a chance to kind of get out a little bit, not necessarily hit some major road speed, but I can get myself up to 40 if I need to. Now I have a different placement for my GoPro mount. I haven't mounted it to myself yet. I don't know if I necessarily want to do that. I don't want to be walking around like, look at me, I'm a moto vlogger. But I do have it a little bit away from my dash. I'm sure it's going to bounce around a little bit, and this isn't necessarily going to work. Hopefully there's some stabilization going on with my technology that's considerably older than what most people are running around with. I am very much in the prime numbers when it comes to which GoPro I have. So I don't have anything fancy that's divisible by 2. So I'm curious to watch to see what it looks like and where the location is. On my initial videos, I had it mounted pretty close to the display system. I tried in a couple different locations. Having it on my top of my head with a mount like that, a little bit too shaky. But when I had it near my display, it really kind of, I mean, it looked good. I was really surprised at the picture quality, but I didn't think I was necessarily going to want that kind of a view for most of my motorcycle videos if I was going to be continuing to do this. You get a lot of, usually people will have the camera on their face of their helmet, and so you get kind of a view of the bars and all that kind of stuff. Like my fiance said, she didn't really like that they all seemed to look down a bit. So really all you saw was more the road and the motorcycle versus the scenery going on around it. So I thought maybe having a standard solid mount that was a little bit back from the dash, but still there. So you knew it was a motorcycle, but you kind of got more of the view, was better. I'll take a look at this later and see what I think, and really, you know, also checking the audio. Now I'm not doing this for money. I'm not doing this for, ooh, look what I can get out of this. And I want to become big enough that I can spend all my days on a motorcycle. Because, man, that's got to be a grind. Yeah, I shifted too early there. That's got to be a grind to constantly try to think up content. That is crazy. I don't want to get to that level. I really just want to kind of educate. I hope, learn myself. And because I know, man, I mean, for 9 months I've been studying this stuff, trying to figure out if I want to get a motorcycle, and then obviously there's a bazillion different choices and options, and everybody's got an opinion, and you know, there's videos left and right about everything, and you can definitely find yourself running down a YouTube rabbit hole. And again, it is nothing but content in order to, I think as soon as you need to make a living at it, I think that's when your, I hate to say it, credibility goes down, because all of a sudden you no longer are doing this for fun. You're doing it to keep your lights on. And when you're doing something to keep your lights on, you tend to not want to bite the hand that feeds you. And, obviously, in order to do more content, and just for note, I put down my visor. But in order to do more content, you need new stuff all the time. You need new products, you need new motorcycles. And if you are known as a harsh reviewer, you're not as likely going to get more options. So you tend to accentuate the good stuff and maybe not really tell the truth about the bad stuff. And oddly enough, I grew up in an era where we were told that in order to advertise a product, you had to solely and completely believe in it and actually use it. You couldn't just say, hey, yeah, give me $40,000 and I will advertise this. So I believe that. And unfortunately, I think YouTube is a new form of, well, not new anymore by any means, a new form of guerrilla marketing. And I actually fell for this a couple years ago when I moved out on my own, and I needed and I mean post-divorce, not post-parents, and I needed a bed. And obviously I like to research stuff before I do it. And at the time I was watching a bunch of YouTube, and I ended up buying a purple mattress because all these reviews were just, it was fabulous and all this kind of stuff. And unfortunately I didn't research the researchers, if that makes sense. And when you do that, that's when you really kind of find out what the truth is. And so I'm not saying that I don't like my purple bed. I love having a king, and it's the first king I've had in my life. And I think for the price, it was good. But I just, I just didn't feel, I just don't feel 100% about the bed. I don't feel like it was, one of those things that was just a great decision in my life. So tying that back to YouTube and YouTube vloggers and motor vloggers and all sorts of things, I just don't know how much I can trust anymore. And so, any which way, my focus for this channel obviously will be just on my bike, and I will try to make it somewhat universal to everybody. But my main focus is going to be people that are just starting to ride, who are where maybe I was 9 months ago, 4 months ago, 2 months ago, 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago. There's so much stuff that, and don't get me wrong, I think a lot of good YouTubers are out there that really want to teach you and get you into riding. But I think, if you've been riding for a long time, there's stuff about when you're new that you forget about, and you don't remember experiencing something that may be concerning, period. Like, I was really concerned about my helmet and how much it might hurt, and I will definitely go into that more. But also, like, the first time that I really got on this bike, the two biggest concerns I had was definitely going from zero to moving. And you get that fear that for whatever reason, because you just sounds like your engine's like just doing so much and just like, let me run. and it wants to jump out from under you because it just sounds so much. And so you're like really anxious about letting off that clutch and getting yourself going because it just sounds like it wants to just tear out from under you. And I mean, every single one of us has watched a motorcycle video where people just had god-awful accidents. So another thing was that my hands just hurt like a bitch, if I can say that, when I was first on this motorcycle. And I really had to focus on relaxing my grip